Welcome to Pop Flashback. I'm Rick Smalls.
Great to be here.
Our usual cohort, Tina Boucher, is actually on assignment, investigating a rather mysterious death, fittingly enough. She sends her best.
Well, hopefully she cracks the case.
Indeed. But today, we're looking back ourselves, specifically at April 8th, 1990, the night Twin Peaks premiered. You had Mark Frost and David Lynch creating this whole world, Twin Peaks, Washington.
Looked normal enough on the outside. You know, small town charm.
Deceivingly normal, because underneath,
Yeah.
something else was going on, something much stranger.
And it all kicks off with FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper rolling into town.
Yeah, played by Kyle MacLachlan. He's there because the local homecoming queen, Laura Palmer, has been murdered. Frost and Lynch. They even said later it was kind of a MacGuffin, right?
Exactly. A way in. The real focus was the town, the people, all those eccentric, wonderfully weird characters.
It was this mix, wasn't it? Like part detective story, part, I don't know, supernatural drama.
And horror tropes, definitely. Plus this weirdly campy, almost soap opera melodrama feel sometimes.
And the melodrama.
Yeah.
But then it would get genuinely unsettling. That blend was just unique.
Completely. And classic Lynch, you know, that surrealism permeating everything.
The dream sequences.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the quirky humor that just pops up. It kept you totally off balance.
You cannot talk about Twin Peaks without talking about the music.
The score is Twin Peaks in a lot of ways.
I read that story about the main theme. They cooked it up in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. It's incredible. And that soundscape, lush but also really strange. It used FM synthesizers, which were pretty state-of-the-art back then.
Right, gave it that distinct, kind of dreamy, kind of eerie quality.
Talk about composing Laura Palmer's theme. Dark woods, soft wind, an owl hooting. These little images to spark the music.
That's such a cool way to collaborate, like painting with sound.
It really was a synergy, not just music for the show, but music from the show's soul. And the musicians were top-notch, lots of jazz guys. Kenny Landrum on keyboards was key.
He was using all that new tech, right? The Yamaha DX7.
The DX7, yeah, the Roland D550, the EMU emulator, the second sampler.
That sampler was responsible for the opening theme's guitar sound, wasn't it? That twangy thing.
That's the one. Lynch wanted something that felt kind of 50s.
And Landrum just nails it with a sampled sound, pitch down, bit of tremolo, one take.
Incredible. It shows how deliberate the sound design was right from the very first note.
So cool. But, you know, before it aired, not everyone was convinced it would work.
Oh, yeah, there was skepticism. I saw one quote from a media analyst who basically said it had no chance.
Not commercial, radically different, that sort of thing.
Plus the time slot, Thursday nights against Cheers.
Oof. Yeah, Cheers was massive. That felt like a death sentence for anything new and weird.
A huge gamble.
But despite all that, the premiere generated huge buzz.
Massive. And people who watched it that night often describe it as, well, unforgettable.
I saw someone online, maybe Reddit, saying it felt life-changing, like nothing else on TV.
Hypnotic and crazy and beautiful and baffling all at once. I think that sums it up pretty well.
It really does. And it wasn't just a U.S. thing either. It hit big in Germany later on, too, apparently.
Yeah, became a real talking point there.
Back in the States, though, those initial ratings, I did dip a bit after the first few episodes.
That Cheers effect, probably.
Yeah.
Competing for a similar kind of adult audience, maybe.
Could be. It shows the challenge, right? Putting something that different on network TV.
But ABC stuck with it, at least for a bit. They moved the season finale to a Wednesday.
And the ratings were better.
Yep, good enough. Along with the critical acclaim and buzz to get it renewed for season 2, thank goodness.
Yeah, imagine if it had just vanished after 8 episodes.
It made such an impression. Even if the Laura Palmer mystery was the hook, people got drawn into the whole weird world.
It's that contrast, I think. The cozy, quaint town exterior.
And then these bizarre, sometimes dark personalities underneath.
Plus Cooper's dreams giving clues.
Yeah.
It was just a completely unique atmosphere.
Totally unprecedented for TV at the time. Those first 8 episodes, including the pilot, they felt cinematic.
Yeah, like a long movie. The production values, the artistic ambition.
Yeah.
He was aiming higher than typical television.
Really pushed the boundaries, technically, artistically. Revolutionary for the small screen.
So, looking back at that premiere, April 1990, it wasn't just a crime show, not just horror, not just soap opera.
It was Twin Peaks, a genre unto itself.
It really was. And it clearly stuck with people.
Definitely. Which makes me think, for anyone listening who actually watched it premiere back in 1990, what was your first impression?
Ooh, good question. Was there a specific scene or moment from that first episode that just grabbed you and never let go?
Yeah, we'd genuinely love to hear those memories. Drop them in the comments if you have them.
Great stuff. Well, thanks for listening to Pop Flashback. Remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next trip down memory lane.
Catch you next time.